Frost aba gore Frost la ba motho tla re botsa la gompieno ba ne ba le bonya go ntle le phelelo epe tlhopha sa Supersport United ba ne ba latela ka lebelo nako le nako ba ba punya ebile ba sa ba kope ebile ba sa ba tshabe be motho tla re Gabriel ke dingwe tsa dilo tse a gagela mo go tsone go tsofana ofa go ya kwa pele se ke Supersport United e motho tla re e ne le bogale kgatlhanong le tlhopha sa Kaizer Chiefs. Bruce Voma a go tshwanelwa ke go iphutha metlhala ga a phoso a gona gope tota mo motho tla re o mosupa ka monona teng e ne le motshwara dino yo o bolaisiwang ke batshameka morago ba itse sentle batshameka morago ba tlhopha tsa Kaizer Chiefs thata jang le batshameka gare ba ba letleletseng setlhopha se go feta 1 Chiefs 4 tlhala matsatsatsa a tlhala matsatsatsa hallelujah.
Supersport United complete a league double over Kaizer Chiefs for the first time since the 2011-2012 season, and the two gents in studio said it at halftime that for Supersport United it would be the type of evening. They are certainly in the mood. It didn't end in the first half. They came out in the second half just as hungry and converting the opportunities, DK.
I think they never took the foot off the pedal. Supersport, of course, the mission was simple. Do not lose against Kaizer Chiefs. I think that was the mandate from the coach, Kevin Hunt. You know, you could see the attitude towards the game. I mean, everything. They threw everything at Chiefs in attack from the first whistle up until, you know, the game ended. And I think it's a good result for Supersport. 4 goals. First time in this season they've scored more than, you know, 1 goal, to be honest. I think most of their games they won 1-0. Today they decided, no, it's Shafo.
Yeah.
Shafo against Chiefs.
It was the type of evening in the Betway Premiership with every game having at least 1 goal in it. TS Galaxy going down to Stellenbosch, of course Ashley Cupido coming off the bench to get a brace, and a player that also got a brace this evening. Sinokolo Kwaiba, Chipa United, 2-0 victors over Cape Town City, and Tabang Sibanyoni, the recent acquisition for Makesi FC from Richards Bay, and he got the all-important goal in that Limpopo derby. Well, this is how the log is starting to shape up, because it is the time where a lot of teams now want to start getting a lot of points. For Polokwane City, they're still in 3rd position. For TS Galaxy, of course, they could have needed these points. But for Kaizer Chiefs as well, things are starting to become a bit congested, Stiga, especially when you look at where they are on the log standings.
Very congested indeed. And, you know, expected more from them playing at home. I did predict the draw because I knew Supersport and Gavin Hunt is always a tough cookie to crack. But of the last 5 games, they won 3, they drew 1, they lost 1. So they needed to take advantage of their home advantage, and unfortunately didn't do so because they came up against a Supersport. I'm going to quote the Hang again. They looked like they were in the mood.
Certainly Supersport United, yes, they didn't have the best of results coming into this game, but this was the game where they turned the tide. Yes, it doesn't do much in terms of movement on the log standings because they were quite just backwards in terms of the points that they had amassed, but this is a massive 3 points when you look at where they still have to go.
Yeah, it makes such a difference. I mean, you look at the team in the top, number 8, it's only 23 points. So they're 3 points away from the top 8. It's very tight. You know, you can tell Supersport is, Cape Town City is 21 points, Chipa 21, so they're not far off. It's a good 3 points, much needed 3 points for Supersport. It makes so much difference for them.
Much needed 3 points, maximum points collected away from home for Matatanta Apidol. What an evening that they had out at the FNB Stadium. You can see the smiles from the players that this was the type of game that they knew that they wanted to win. Do stay with us. On the other side, we'll be dissecting exactly what transpired in this game. And walk all the way to Tshwane with a massive 3 points collected and 4 goals to their name. They came into this game as the team that had not scored the most goals in this campaign, and this was the type of evening where they needed to remind everybody about their prowess, especially in front of goal, and the intention was there. In that 3rd minute, Nurkovic finding the goal.
It's Nurkovic, it's Saile. I think 2 things that happen in a game like this. I mean, you have 2 players, former Chiefs players, playing against your former team. It's either you're motivated or it's pressure. It gets to you. And in this case, I think for both of them, it was a motivation. You know, they came into this game wanting to prove a point, and they did exactly that. it went in favor of the club, that is Supersport, of course. Kevin will be happy with that. I mean, yes, Chiefs had their opportunities, their chances. They were in the game as well in the first few minutes of the 30 minutes of the game. But I think Supersport were just superior in areas where it matters most. You know, they used their strengths wide and put in the crosses. 3 goals came the same way.
Very direct as well. That's how you know Supersport United to play. Very direct.
Especially in these conditions, you know, get it down, get it in the box, and we'll see in the third goal that the Kaizer Chiefs conceded. When you get it in there, it's so difficult for goalkeepers to handle it in this type of weather, you know. So you get a cross in, there might be a miss hit, there might be a miss header, a miss clearance, and then you pounce of that. So that was clearly the mandate for them. Get players in the box, get opportunities. And you can see 3 blue shirts further up the pitch. That was the plan. You are going to get opportunities. We need to get in the box and the celebration to match the goal.
The defensive transitions, they were on point today from a Supersport United perspective.
I'm disappointed because I know Miguel, you know, Dudley. Usually they do better. They can do better. I know they can do better. But in today's game, they were just not there mentally. I think you know, lapse of concentration, not picking up players. You know, such mistakes you don't expect from, you know, 2 experienced defenders who usually do well. I mean, Cross as well was not in the game. I think he'll be disappointed with his game today.
Supersport United were making those sacrificial runs, and when you looked at the Kaizer Chiefs players, it was so hard for them to keep up with the Supersport runs.
Yeah, they didn't want to turn and face their own goals, and that's exactly what Supersport done. They knew that Chiefs would try and boss it. It is their home game. Put a high line, stay nice and compact, so there would have been spaces in behind the defense. And again we see just every ball that they needed to compete for, Supersport were there. Quicker, stronger, better, and this is what I spoke about earlier. Get it in the box, difficult for the goalkeeper to keep it. There's people coming on, wet conditions, and Lungu that provided the goal for the first, had the assist for the first goal, had his attempt cleared off the line by Dudley. What an excellent finisher in these conditions. Not the easiest of techniques, and a brilliant stuff there from him.
You know how Lungu scores a goal. I think for me, a player like Mtetwa is someone you need in a team. I think you don't want too much from him. He's the one who destroys such balls being played in the box. You don't expect much from him. You just need him to destroy. And for me, I think you need a player like Chiefs need a player like him. It was too easy for Supersport to penetrate, and for the midfielders to find those passes going wide to the attacking players. So much space for Ndlovu to actually decide, wait, and think about where's the next pass. That's too easy still.
A man of a match performance here from Ndlovu. Check this brilliant goal just to cap off what was a brilliant evening. He's been the beacon of hope for Supersport in the dark times. He's always giving you a proper shift. In the last 3 encounters, I think his man of the match performances. I commentated this Kukune game, and I think that Ndlovu was outstanding. Never won man of the match. It was it went to Sangare, the goalkeeper, but he was up there for it. And then look at the defensive midfielder there. Pochenpoel sitting deep allows him to join in the attack, and he has the ability to finish higher.
And that's the gap where you need again. You know, I might sound biased, but I think Mtetwa today, I'm going to speak for him because I know what type of player and what he brings to the club. So balls being played, those cut-ins, finding 3 Supersport players with no one, you know, on them.
The pressure then it puts on players like Mtutuzi Shabalala, players like Mfundo Vilakazi, when they come in and they're introduced, while there's still so much to be done, it's hard for you to see their quality.
You bring in a youngster on, and you've just got a red card. It's 3-1 down. You want him to make magic. I look at, I think it's in the 85th minute. There's a free kick. There's 2 youngsters standing over the ball. This is where you need the leadership. This is where the senior players and the experienced players need to be stepping up and say, guys, let's go. The game isn't over till it's over, you know. And actually feel for these youngsters, because just to bring it back to Chiefs when, and I hate doing this, when we were playing or when Chiefs was winning. The youngsters come in to supplement what you have, not to carry the team. It's too heavy. You can't put the weight of Kaizer Chiefs on youngsters. You need to have experienced players that can manage the team and manage the pressure and they will come in and supplement it until the stage is, okay, this season I've played 15 games, next season I've played 20 games, okay, third season, now I can take on that pressure because I've been through them all, you understand? So I think a little bit unfair for the youngsters, but maybe they say put you in the deep waters and see if you can come out swimming.
Let's try to get into the psyche of Coach Nazuddin Nabi. After that first half, he makes crucial changes. He brings in the likes. He takes off Yusuf Mart, and then he takes off Happy Mashiane as well. Give us the thinking then on, because then you're wondering.
So again, let's go back to what I spoke about. I mentioned Mteto. Where does Yusuf Mart play? It's similar position as Mteto, and meaning he didn't do what he was supposed to do, which is to protect that defense. And a player like Mteto comes in, and Stellenbosch, that's what he did. You don't want anything from him. You have a role, and your role is specific. Just protect us and give the ball to the attacker. So for me, that is missing from Mark, because he's not that type of a player, and hence the changes as well. Now, for it's also believing, and I think Speaker put it nicely when he says the pressure on these youngsters. I mean, when the team is going through a tough time, you bring on the players, you play these youngsters. And to carry the team, and when the team is doing well, that's when you need them to be on the pitch as well with pressure.
I thought that Kele as well as Mart would be the two sixes. So now maybe that combination, and I did say at the top of the show, is that it's the second game they're playing together. Maybe that combination doesn't suit well, because maybe Mart needs to be playing further forward as an 8 and somebody else closing. Maybe it should be vice versa. Maybe Kele a little forward, But that is something that the coach needs to come up with. He needs to understand what are they doing at training now. They're gonna have a rest because the next game is against Sundowns. We're not sure if Roy Williams is going to pitch up again.
Yeah.
So there's opportunity and there's a time. By the end of the season, I think there's 13 games left. You're going to have to know what style of player you're playing. You're going to have to know what type of players you need. So the clock is ticking for Nabi as well.
It wasn't easy for Amakosi, because then they had to do the job with just 10 men. Gaston Serino being sent off. Let's talk about the incidents, especially that handball, where you can feel like it was unnecessary.
Well, it is a handball. I mean, the referee was closer to the action. It's in the box, and the hands are obviously, away from the body, not a natural position. But Serena, my problem with Serena is the discipline, ill-discipline. And it cost the, there's no need. There's no need for him
He's not even involved in this situation.
The referee has made a decision, has blown the whistle, and Serena rushes in, to in that incident. And I get it, but that has been his problem even at Sundowns, and it's costly.
I'd like to see that again if we can, because as much as we know Sereno's a fire character, this was a yellow card. This was the first offense.
This was the handball.
This was the handball. No problem with that. The second one, all he went to do was run and get the ball because he wanted to start play. And then there was 4 or 5 players around him, and then it looks like he's done something. This was the foul. And
this was the initial foul.
This is the initial foul.
Yeah.
So now Sereno's saying, okay guys, let's get on with it. Let's get back in the game. Get on with the game. He gets the ball, check it. He goes, okay, now they don't want to give the ball. And now
Why is everybody rushing?
5, 6 players. As much as we know he's a fiery character, but that a second yellow. Yeah. That was a little bit harsh. But that was harsh for Serena.
If you have a yellow sticker, stay away. Rather stay away, because with the yellow you have obviously in the mind as well, keeping in mind that you still have a yellow.
Well, let's go straight back to the F&B Stadium.